Hello, friends. Welcome to what has turned out to be a very dreary day here at St. Francis. It's been raining on and off. It's very cold. There's still pollen everywhere. And then, of course, the weirdest thing, as with every other place in the world right now, is that it's empty when it's not usually empty. Um, you know, Lots of staff is working from home whenever they can. The school is out. The teachers are out. And all of the clubs and organizations and groups that we have are all canceled indefinitely, and we don't know when they'll be back. And it has just led to this really weird atmosphere around the church. And really, speaking personally in my life too, it's been this weird atmosphere of like not being around people when I want to be around people, which is very odd. I'm an introvert naturally. So like my ideal Friday night is staying home and playing the new Animal Crossing game and like maybe having one other person there or two other people there. Never in a million years would I want to like go out somewhere and be with a large group and do something. But even with my preferences for like less people, less interaction, this is still feels off and feels wrong. And I'm sure a lot of you guys feel that way, that like your life right now just kind of feels weird, like something's missing, and like there's just something that you can't really put your finger on that just doesn't feel right. However, one small upside of this situation with lots less people and lots less distractions is that I personally have been able to like sit and think more and reflect on, what exactly is it that I'm missing in this situation? Like, why do things feel wrong? Why does life feel off? And ultimately, I think it gets back to what we love to talk about as Catholics, this idea of like community, and that the most important things that really matter are the relationships you have and the friendships you have and the family that you have. And so when you are forced to be cut off from your community in a circumstance like this, it just feels bad. And it's not a good time for anyone involved. However, we are a little bit luckier than past generations in that even though we're like physically cut off from people, we can still get together in less literal ways. So like here, I can talk to you, and then through video chat, through phone calls, through emails, through texts, like we have ways to still stay in touch and still have some sort of community. And even if we know that it's never going to like fulfill it, it's never going to replace like being physically one-on-one with a person, like we have these kind of band-aids that will hopefully help us get through however long this crisis goes on for. I think that we need to be careful in, hearing this word social distancing and like thinking about what that means in our lives. So when we talk about social distancing, really we're just saying you need some physical distancing. Like we should not be next to each other, and we should not be going out and like touching things that other people have touched, and we should not be like close enough that if someone coughs, they might get their germs on me. But it doesn't mean social distancing in the sense that like we should not be social with each other, and we should not still be engaged and be talking to each other and be at least trying to form some sort of community with each other. So we are trying to provide a variety of ways for you guys from home virtually to still be engaged with community and to be together and to, walk together, pray together, have fun together, like ways to make sure that you don't feel isolated and cut off, and ways for you to understand that even if we are in this circumstance where we can't be around other people and where we have to be physically distant, like we don't have to be socially distant from each other, and we can still care and help and talk and do most of the things that we could do before. It's just a little different. So for you guys, we're going to be offering a handful of different ways for you to stay engaged and for you to be a part of our community. For one, I'm going to hopefully do these kind of videos regularly. I'm going to call them something like Random Reflections, and it's just going to be like 5 to 10 minutes of talking, like a vlog style. We're reflecting on some random thing, and especially like things that we're experiencing in the world now. So this won't be like, oh, we're going to talk about the Trinity and what precisely it means that there's 3 parts in one, but it's going to be like, how do we continue to be Catholic in a world where we can't gather for Mass? And what does it mean, like, that we can't do the sign of peace and we can't shake each other's hands and like show that we care in that way? So these videos are going to be hopefully a way for you to continue your faith journey in this time. And I know it's a little weird. It's not quite the same as like a youth group night where we're playing games, where we're doing all sorts of things. But the ideal for these videos is that it will be a reflection, and then hopefully at the end I will have some kind of practical takeaway for you guys to do at home, or for you guys to do something else, some activity, some game, some way to engage. In addition to these videos, we're also doing weekly virtual trivia nights. So me and Marissa and maybe some of the peer ministers at some point are like hosting a live stream on YouTube, and then we have a Kahoot game pulled up, and we play through the Kahoot game and we see who has the best, and there's prizes, and it's a fun time. In addition to that, we've been looking into all sorts of other things, like maybe some sort of a podcast or a talk show where we like get to know the peer ministers or get to know the small group leaders or just get to know any of you guys. In addition, you may have already seen that the liturgy team is doing 2 things daily. At lunchtime, Jim Wall is doing daily lunch breaks with Mr. Jim, which are targeted towards a little bit of a younger audience. It's like elementary school-ish, but are still fun, and it's some music, it's some fun. It's a way to like break up the monotony of your day. And then also every evening, the liturgy team is doing evening prayer, which is like a ritual prayer that we can do together. It's live streamed, and you can pray along with the church, with our church, as someone is leading the prayer, which is pretty cool that like we can do these things, that we live in a world where it's possible. Also, if you have any ideas for other things that we can do or provide for you that you would like for us to do, like, please let us know, because this is just a handful of us trying to figure out the best possible things. This is not a normal thing in faith formation. I don't think there's ever been a point in time where people had to do this sort of online virtual youth group, virtual faith formation before. So it's all very new and very open to change and very open to suggestions. So if you ever have an idea of something, please send me an email, send Marissa an email, send any of us an email. We'd love to look into doing more things for you. So I think that about wraps up what I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully these videos will be once or twice a week, depending on how difficult it is for me to actually put them together and how many ideas I can actually think of things to talk about. But as a whole, we miss you guys, and we hope that you will not be too socially distant from us. And we're praying for you, so stay safe. See you next time.